What's good with it, everybody? It's your boy JB9 Deuce, representing JB's Speak Easy, the black platform of black men, always. And once again, we'll speak freely. I am your host, JB9 Deuce. Right now, I'm doing a quick little show today. This will not be one of those hour and a half long. At least we're going to try to keep it. I got my special guest. I got my cousin Devin here. And Devin's about to come on in a minute. But today's subject is it's called A minor. And if you guys are good at foreshadowing and predicting and, prophesizing, if you want to call it that, the title is based off of course, I'll go ahead and tell you the whole idea of Kendrick Lamar's statement about Drake and his Not Like Us, where he says he probably didn't want to pass, A minor, the great double entendre. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows I love double entendres. But if you know me in rap, because I rap too, so I try to, and that's a heck of a way to put together this on somebody. Gotta give him his credit. But today it's not just a pinpoint Drake, but I'm also going to have a talk about, because there's a lot of this going around. Started a few years ago with Epstein. Then it goes, now we're dealing with this Nickelodeon director, Dan Schneider, and that hurt my feelings because, I grew up, there's three networks I watched: Cartoon Network, WB, Nickelodeon. Those are the things that helped raise me. You get what I'm saying? So, so the Dan Schneider thing, and hearing Drake and Josh Drake Bell talk about what he went through, and Victoria Justice, and what's the other one? iCarly, and these people, it kills me to see what they went through. I'm like, wow, pedophilia, because all these things happened to these people and they were underage, these casting couches, which leads to my question. Now we have Drake. Now we have, of course, we always had the R. Kelly thing that always existed. So the question, I actually should have titled the show, "What's Going On in Hollywood?" But right now we're going to concentrate on A minor. And the question is, what would make a man in their position want A minor? Someone underage, sexually attracted to. I don't get that. I don't get that. You know what I mean? And so I actually want to get into that discussion today. Right now, I'm sending a link to my cousin, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to discuss this, because I feel like, as a man, not just a man, but a man of means, you have millions of dollars, millions of followers. I'll guarantee you, way over what I say, 90% of your fan base are probably women that are your age or older. So my point would be, what would draw you to want to mess with a child? That's weird. You know what I'm saying? That's weird. Like, I don't see the I don't see the purpose of it. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, just to get into the title of the show, A minor. So Drake basically has been facing allegations, or has been put out there by Kendrick and by a few other people that have seen suspicious things in the industry of him being with underage girls. Now, we have seen this before in Hollywood, especially in Black Hollywood, where like I just brought up R. Kelly, and even though his situation is a little different, it still begs the question: artists of their stature, where there's women your age, even if you don't want a woman your age, you got 30-year-olds, 25 and plus year olds. Why would you want a minor? You know what I'm saying? That just it's creepy in nature. You know what I'm saying? It's creepy at best. But today we're just going to get into it, and I'll send a link anybody wants to talk to. A minor, Drake and other pedos allegations, and an even greater question I'm going to ask today: the prevalency of how pedophilia goes in the Black community. Why is it not reported? Why is it not spoken of? Why is it not spoken of, and why is it not brought up more? Because here, in my opinion, bro, it's a lot of things that go on in the Black community that are not talked about, and one of those things is the pedophilia, and it comes back to what's going on currently right now. If I either like the person or it's a close person, I'm not going to report it. I'm not going to do anything about it. It's kind of sickening if you really think about it. But right now, I'm about to send the link in case anybody wants to come on. I'm going to send the link. Devin, I got you right now, bro. I'm just gonna. Hold on just a second, guys. All right, let me see. I'm trying to get Devin on right now, but basically, that is what I'm talking about today. Was how in the world, as you as such a successful artist, somehow take interest in in a child. You know what I mean? Or take interest in a teenage girl. You get what I'm saying? It's just I don't know. Even with me, like some things about me is just like something about me is when I see a girl, and I could my eye can naturally kind of gauge and say, okay, she's too young. You know what I'm saying? Before I was dating anybody, she's too young. So why in the world would I never understood that. I just never ever understood that. And we're gonna get into it. Let me see what my cousin Devin thinks about this subject. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a minute to get up here. But right now I'm gonna go ahead and play my video real quick. But yeah, guys, today we're talking about the pedophilia. Um Pedophilia in the black community. Why does it go unspoken? Just give him a little time to come in. This is one of the instrumentals of one of my songs you got. I'm gonna also put my songs on YouTube. You feel me? So here we go. All right. What's good, young Dev? Once again, welcome
What's
back.
good, my guy?
I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm pretty sure you read what was in the title, and
Yeah.
so that's what we're going to break down today. Not going to be too long, but I do want to address this and get your perspective on it. Two questions. The first question is: do you believe the allegations that
Not at all, bro.
Kendrick? Not at all. Okay.
Not at all. And
Okay.
and I can and I can clearly explain to you why. We're getting these
Absolutely.
allegations from people that are mad at him for taking their women.
Okay,
That's
that's a
what
good one.
all this whole beef is about. Drake fucking niggas bitches. So it's like and even in the whole with the whole Kendrick Lamar, like when he brought that up, that it was both found out later that both of them were lying in their diss tracks.
Okay. Yeah, I
Both
thought I
of
heard
them were
some shit
lying.
like that. Yeah.
So it's really weird. It's public knowledge. Drake has been dating plenty or has took plenty of NBA stars mothers out on date. I forgot the rookie last year for the NBA draft last year, but the number one pick, Drake literally before he was NBA, he put him in I think it was LeBron or somebody else's NBA training camp. Then once he got to the NBA, the man literally rented out Dodger Stadium and took his mom on a date.
Disrespectful, but yeah, I get you. I get you.
So it's hard to be like, oh, Drake's a pedophile. Drake's a pedophile. When even a lot of the girls they're quote unquote claiming they're grooming, or like Drake hasn't even made a pass at me. There's articles where you can read that on.
Right.
So it comes down to the point of niggas are losing in this battle, and now we gotta come out with something that's gonna tarnish his reputation. I can
Mm-hmm.
pull up Metro's quote. If this was high school, Drake would be known for stealing all the niggas' bitches.
Mm-hmm.
And his rebuttal in the diss tracks was great. How can I be a pedophile when I'm too famous for all that? Drake's life is never hidden.
Right.
You literally he's after Kanye West when it comes to TMZ harassing the man.
Okay.
So I just find it hard. I don't find it hard to believe. I understand because that would be the easy attack.
Mm-hmm.
but it's an easy attack.
Right. I'm gonna let's say three things. One, I don't know if you remember, you know, our discussions we've had in the past about
Yeah,
3 or 4 years ago. Remember, we were discussing something about Drake, and I brought up a video that I seen. Remember, I told you about him being on stage.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you where I respected him, and I'm gonna tell you where I kind of lost respect in that situation. Remember, I told you the story. He was on stage, you know, doing this thing, and he called one of the girls up, and then
Uh huh.
he was dancing, he was doing this thing, but the crowd starts saying she's 17, 17. He backed up at first, right? He backed up and was like, oh, threw his hands up like this, but the crowd kept kind of pushing him that, oh, it's okay, this is a show, everybody drunk, everybody having a good time. And then he continued to dance. I was like, well, you did the right thing, but then you know, and then why'd you give up? Why'd you give in? That's number one. Number two, I was gonna say one of the girls that you're talking about, SZA, like when he dated, or not dated, but he was around SZA a lot when she was underage, is what they said. Thirdly, you said he says he's too famous for that. So was R. Kelly. So
Well,
was
see,
Epstein.
we really can't do the R. Kelly thing because, and honestly, everybody in that situation is wrong, including the parents.
Of course.
And
Yeah, hell
with
yeah.
the parents, that was really sex trafficking. So
Yeah.
I can't, we can't do the R. Kelly thing with everybody because yes, R. Kelly was wrong. Of
Yep.
course, he was wrong, but R.
Yep.
Kelly went through the parents.
Yeah.
So
And then,
that's
in my
that's a
opinion, I
really
don't. Oh,
touchy. That's a
yeah.
really touchy one, and like, yeah, we're not even when people bring up R. Kelly with me, I go on a
No, I just
long.
yeah, I go in on that one too. I just use that as an example of no matter what the level of fame is, it's always a possibility. Elvis Presley, he married Priscilla Presley at 14. Nobody, white
Oh,
people
I
never
didn't
bring
know
that up.
about that.
Yeah, he married that woman that you see, his wife married at 14. Now,
Oh wow.
and that goes to the whole pedo allegations. It's not just to pinpoint Drake, but since it's all, you know, since it's a revolve around him, I kind of like, okay, we're gonna put him in name in the title, but I don't believe, because it's like what I said in my intro, bro. Drake, as he has so many women, but it's not even funny. So he wouldn't
Right.
need to go after a minor. But then I said, because of then, not to mention Dan Snyder, Nickelodeon, he came out all kinds of allegations. So I don't put anything past anybody. But if
Anybody,
I had,
right?
but I do give him somewhat of credit, like I did on stage. I saw him on stage when she said 17, he backed up. So I know it's in him to be like, okay, whoa. But what if, now let me ask you this, Devin. What if, because there's some pedophile stuff behind the scenes, what if one of them talking like, oh, it's okay, Drake, it's just this one time, you feel me? Ain't nobody gonna find out. It's me and you, blah, 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 blah. Do you think that that's possible too?
Well, I'm not gonna put it past him. I'm not gonna put it past because it's the music industry.
It's dirty, yeah.
I'm not there.
Right.
But what I do know from because he's one of my top five artists. What I do know about that man is everybody in his camp that he rolls with, he's been rolling with since a child. They're his
Good.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing would be like with me and you. Drake really doesn't do too many outside people.
Yeah, I've heard that in
And
his
and
music too.
and for the case of being, look at the thing with Future. Look at the thing with The Weeknd. The
Mm-hmm.
Weeknd is from his city. He put this man on. The Weeknd was literally homeless when he
Mm-hmm.
was found.
Mm-hmm.
Changed this man's life, and then he put a knife in his back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's
Touchy.
I couldn't never when it comes to certain people, like even he says it in a couple of songs. He said the elites tried to come and get me, but they couldn't do it. Ha 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 ha. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like when you know that people are out to get you, you have to be aware that they're going to come try to get you some way, shape, or form.
Yep. And they damage
Whether
your
it be in your
reputation.
music or tarnishing your name.
Yep.
And that's kind of what it sounds like.
Yep, and it might be very much that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's very much that. And and just getting away from the Drake thing, because like I said, I don't have nothing against Drake. I'm just addressing it as everybody else
Oh
on
yeah,
social
yeah, yeah,
media.
yeah, yeah.
Drake he's definitely one of the greatest artists of our time. You know what I'm saying? I always had me and you, when we had discussions, I was going at him in a 90s hip hop form, but I always have respect for him as far as, like, his artistry, his accomplishments. So I'm just gonna get away from him and just concentrate on the pedo allegations. Now, in the black community, bro, there is a lot of pedophilia that goes unmentioned, unquestioned, and unaddressed. And I believe that.
Just in the color community, period. It's not even just black,
Yeah, no, in
Mexicans,
the world period too. That's what.
Asians.
Yeah.
I can't talk about white people. That's just their culture. Alabama.
Well, see, whether it be their culture or not, it's wrong. You know what I mean? You
Of
should
course,
not
of
be
course,
putting
of
your
course.
eyes on. But I'm saying, as far as us, I'm not gonna put it all on us. No, like I said, like Dan Schneider. I know you go like probably watching Nickelodeon like I did.
Yeah, that
Notice
messed
that.
me up.
Yeah, that documentary kind of. I'm like, dang, Dan Schneider. Drake Bell came out and was talking about that.
Yep.
I Carly,
But
Miranda
see,
Cosgrove.
I can't talk about Drake Bell because that nigga's a pedo. Like you've been arrested being caught with underage women. That's
Drake
not
Bell,
a, and there's
white
yeah,
boy Drake Bell. Okay,
yeah, yeah. And
I
like
didn't know
and
that.
so you can't blame you being touched on touching somebody else. That's not a good enough excuse for me.
Right.
It will never be a good enough excuse for me
Mm-hmm.
because your pain should translate to not wanting to do that. Somebody
Right.
made you feel weird, so why would you go make somebody else feel
That's
weird?
my thought process on it. But like, then that's when I bring it back. I'm sorry, I have to bring it back to R. Kelly. The reason why I do that with R. Kelly is because when it, think about him, sister, neighbor, and mom allowed these two people to molest him.
Yeah,
And 9 times out of 10, I was watching another show where a psychologist was talking to one of their interviewers. He said that's typically what happens when you're molested. Molesters are created by other molesters, and they continue to cycle. It's another form of a generational curse. It's not an excuse, but
I
it's a reality. Mhm.
I understand when people use the psychotherapy thing, but I really feel a lot of times they're just giving excuses because
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I was abused as a child. I
Hmm.
have children. I'm not abusing my kids.
Right.
I understand how David made me feel. I
So I don't
get
want to
how
do it.
David
Yeah.
made me feel. It's not okay. And I understand that. So that's not a good enough excuse for
Hmm.
me to say, oh, I understand and I empathize with you touching little kids.
Oh,
No.
absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Hmm.
And that's exactly what I feel psychologists do. They say it's not your fault, you're not to blame, and here's why. When it is your fault, for
Yep.
what you did. The responsibility now is on you as an adult to be a better adult.
Yep.
R. Kelly is wrong.
Yep.
They're wrong.
Hmm.
And you can't pay me $2 million to believe that they're not. It's called
Of course not.
accountability.
Yep. And I agree
And
100%. Hmm.
and the world is losing a lot of that.
Yeah, and that's what it really comes to. The world has fell into a sense of degeneracy that's so sick that we could even excuse something like that because it's something in your human nature that should just let you know something's not right. Like it's just like killing, like okay, like trying to kill your grandma. Something in you innately knows not to do that. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Something in you innately knows that it's wrong to touch a child. Like, bro, I swear, whatever post I'm at as a security guard, there's women of all ages that come in, right? Something about me just knows when a girl is too young, and something in my
Yep.
mind shuts that down. You feel me? It doesn't matter if
Yep.
she looks attractive or what. I'm like, I shut it down. Like I had a homegirl, not on some weird shit, but I was at her house, and she has a pretty daughter. I can acknowledge that she's pretty, but I know that she's underage. You see what I'm saying? So my
Exactly.
mind shut down. But these
And
other
and
niggas
and
in the
and
house.
acknowledging somebody that's as a beautiful creature, we can acknowledge something beautiful but not have a lustful mindset.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And in that house, I noticed that I was trying to make less contact with the ones to make sure that it ain't nothing funny. But there was other dudes in there that was kind of not flirting, but just talking too much to her and stuff. And me and the
No,
home, you know,
flirting.
Rob.
That is flirting.
Yeah,
That is
me and Rob was
flirting.
looking at that dude weird. Me and Rob was looking like, bro, like me and him eyeballed each other. Like, you hear this? And this is an old dude, like you know what I'm saying? He like in his
Yeah.
40s, 50s,
It's
older
called
nigga.
grooming.
Yep. And I think you know him too, one of the dudes on the top, but I'm not gonna, put him out there on
I
live.
believe. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy nigga. So, and I lost a lot of respect for him for that day. But the problem is, it goes back to also with the problem with R. Kelly and his victims. The mom's allowing it. Like, you feel me? I was in her house and I'm kind of looking, like, bro, this is your boyfriend. This is your, not boyfriend, but the dude she was screwing on. Why are you not watching him more?
Yeah. Why
You
aren't you
have
paying
daughters in this
attention to
house.
that?
Hmm. And so that's what bothers me too, because I'm like, in our community, not just, I say our community because I'm only worried about black folk. Like you said, white people, they got that in their culture. I don't want that in my culture. I'm the type of dude, bro, I don't care. Like if a kid comes to me and tells me something like, you know,
Yep,
somebody did something, like
we're
I call
on
them my
it.
stepkids, like my stepkids or something. But if they tell me before they tell like their parents, because some of these situations, they're scared to tell the parents, but let's just say they feel
Yep,
straight telling me, I'm going to the parent. I'm going to the
exactly.
person that did it, and I'm like, bro, I need that fade. You did something to what? I'll tell my girl or I'll tell whoever later. I'm gonna go handle that. You know what I'm
No, I'm telling them as I'm going to handle it.
saying?
Hey,
Right?
this is the
Yeah, you feel
situation.
me? I'm going to go
This is
handle that
what I'm
because
finna
it's
go do.
it's part of being God's righteous man. I feel like I have to go step that. Like, nah, this
But
can't.
see, and yes, it's a part of being God's righteous man. But even criminals know that that's not okay.
hmm
You can't be a pedophile and go to jail.
Oh yeah, you're done. You're done.
That's so if a killer, if a mass murderer, somebody that believes in Satanism can tell you that touching a kid is wrong, come on
hmm
now.
Right. Absolutely.
But to stay on topic, but to flip the topic, it's
Uh-huh.
a horrible thing to accuse somebody of that without knowledge and real evidence,
Thank you. Thank you.
because that
Absolutely.
tarnishes that literally after all the battle, people shot at Drake's house.
Yeah, that was off, bro. Yeah, that's fucked up. I mean,
So
that's off. Yeah.
so for you to make an allegation like that that can detriment somebody's life, his son was in that house.
Right. That's
You
fucked
have to
up.
think about what you say when you say it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think about that. You can't just be like, "Oh yeah, freaky ass nigga, you a 69 god," but you got a son. Now he has to explain to his son what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And his son looks at him like, "Dad, are you touching? Are you looking at my friends?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's not okay.
No, it's not.
That takes a lot away from endorsements and all that. And you can't just be labeling people. I don't believe in labels. I hate that autism, dyslexic shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we have learning challenges, but to put a label on it,
Right.
it's crazy. It's benign, and it's
Absolutely.
disgusting, because
Mm-hmm.
like I didn't like when they did it with R. Kelly until proof came out,
Right.
until they
Same
had
thing. Mm-hmm.
concrete evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the same thing that's needed with Drake. Because Drake, once again, is too in the media for you at least not to catch something.
Mm-hmm.
Think you deals with Sprite, been on SNL multiple times,
Yep.
has a partnership with the NBA. Like, do you know how many people have got kicked out of the NBA for just hitting their woman?
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, like, and the NBA, what's my boy's name? Adam Silver does a heavy investigation on the people that he puts on his brand. You think that man's gonna let somebody mess up a multi-billion company?
Nope.
So come on now, like, come on, like, let's
Right.
let's 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 be real. Let's be
Absolutely.
real here. And then you got Rick Ross's fat ass fat self trying to trying to sham somebody. When this brother said, "I put Molly in people women's drink,"
Drink,
and
yeah,
she didn't even
and he
know it.
didn't even know it. Yeah, like what the. Right, right. Did you see what I'm saying? How dirty that industry is, and like, bro, I agree 100% with what you're saying. It's my whole problem with the whole Me Too thing. I need evidence when we're going against people, not just people's word, because anybody could lie for a check. You know what I'm saying? Which
Yep.
actually
Look
going,
at Bill
I was going to
Cosby.
try. Yep. And I hated what they did to Bill Cosby, but I'm even hateful about how black people where we bought into these white people lies on him like that. I didn't.
Oh
I
man.
hated that. You feel me?
Oh
One of our
man.
only positive black figures, but then it goes back to what you said. When you big like that, they try to come for you. Like, did you know that Bill Cosby had $400 million in the '90s and was about to start his own network,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's when
And
all
he was
these
also
allegations.
run by CBS.
Yep. Oh no, NBC, NBC. He was going to try to
NBC.
buy
I'm sorry.
NBC. When you do that, bro, it's not to correct you, but I just want people to understand
No,
when
no,
you
yeah,
do
you're
stuff
right.
like
Go
that.
ahead, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, because when people do that, no, yeah, NBC, but no, just But when people do that, put these allegations, you ruin everything about that person. Notice
Yep.
Bill Cosby called the father of America until
Mm-hmm.
what? He got these allegations and there was no proof, and then it was a bunch of lies told. So I believe in proof before we go after anybody. Same thing with Jonathan Majors. You know what I'm saying? No proof of violence. As a matter of fact, there's proof he wasn't violent. But see, it was all to tarnish his image. That's why Marvel fired him. You know what I'm saying? The
Yep.
same with a few others. Like they try to destroy these people's name when they're trying to do something positive.
So I mean, I just it's a horrible day in the world
Mm-hmm.
when when stuff like this. Hold on, Josh. My job is calling me. I'm gonna hop back on.
Okay, for sure. Go ahead. I'll just monologue. Okay, for sure.
Yep.
All right, guys. That's me and Devin. He's gonna be back, but I just wanted to concentrate on this idea of the pedo allegations. Um, I'm a big believer, like how my cousin said, we need proof, evidence, and we need to have some kind of concrete facts about people before we declare that somebody is a pedophile, because that is a very damaging charge. Same thing with rape charges. We have to investigate these people who say that they're raped, because at the end of the day, if we put that kind of allegation on somebody, especially someone famous, it'll ruin their reputation. Side note, I was going to also kind of segue into the whole P Diddy Cassie situation. I'm going to see what my cousin has to think about that when he comes back on, and then we'll wrap up the show. But yeah, and so in today's day and age, we have to be more careful in the things we accuse people of, as well as also acknowledging the pains people go through. Because I don't want anybody that has been molested or R word to be. I have to say R word because it's going on social media. I already said rape once. I'm not supposed to say it, but the R word, right? Not disqualifying their experience, but I also don't want to disqualify the experiences of the innocent. So yeah, that's where I stand on that, and I'm gonna try to tie into the whole uh P Diddy situation in a minute. You know, uh keeping your hands to yourself. I might dive into that. I'm gonna see what Devin was feeling. Hold on just a second, guys. Hold on. All right, guys. I'm back. Okay, yeah, Devin's back too. Okay.
I really feel like it should be illegal for your job to call you and try to get you to come in on your day off.
Yeah, especially if they try to terminate you for not coming in, right? You know what I'm saying? Would they want you to
Yeah.
come in?
I mean, like I told my boss, I only get 2 days off. I have things to do today,
Right.
and I can't come in. So
Mm-hmm.
try somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Let's get back to the topic.
Right. And I was going to introduce another one in a few minutes, but yeah, anything else on this pedo allegations? Because I was going to dive into the P Diddy Cassie thing for a second. Get your take on that,
Oof, oof.
and physical and domestic violence. I was going to touch on that a little bit. But anything else on the allegations or?
No, just stop making false claims without evidence. Stop making claims without evidence. Because I'm not going to say false claims. Stop making claims without
Mm-hmm.
evidence. And this is not even just this. Yes, this is based on the topic. But to anybody watching that does this in life, if you don't have concrete evidence to solidify your stance on something, you shouldn't speak on it. You
Absolutely.
should have no entitlement. Your opinion is non and void, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
remember, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody
Everybody has
has
one.
one. Some stinks more than others.
Mm-hmm.
So with Diddy,
Mm-hmm.
the boy is wild.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The boy is wild. Now I'm going to keep the same energy as I kept with Chris Brown and Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what led up to that. We
Exactly.
for sure don't know what led up to that. But
Absolutely.
to get caught on camera and just to allow the world to see your side is wrong.
Right,
For
makes
you
you
to
look bad.
chase a girl down the hallway that's trying to leave you in nothing on but a towel,
Hmm.
commits to sock her and kick her up and drag her back to your
Hmm.
room, you're a monster.
Yep.
Now
That's what I'm saying on
I'm gonna take the stance that my mama gave me. Nobody should be hitting
anyone.
anybody.
Thank you.
But if a woman does decide to lay hands on a man, you've taken yourself out of the role of a woman and
Thank you.
placed yourself into being a man. And I'm going
Thank
to
you.
defend myself like you're a man.
Hmm.
Now, we don't know if that's the case.
Hmm.
Because if a Negro hit me in a run, best believe I'm running after him.
Right, exactly. Like I know I need my hands on everything. I need my head up on everything. And,
But
oh,
it looks so totally wrong on him. And I understand he came out and said, because that was what, 8 years ago before when that happened?
yeah, yeah.
So I understand we can say you were in a dark place, you had to go to rehab and all that other stuff, but that still doesn't take away
Hmm.
that what you did was very piece of crapish.
Hmm.
You look bad, bro. You look like a monster.
Absolutely. And that's basically the take that I took on it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no excuse. To be honest with you, what I seen in that video is no excuse. Like Devin, we've had this conversation before. Like I I'm no in no support of domestic violence or abuse. However, I take the stand that you take. We don't know what happened, and I think that that is a big part because I'm like this with it. Yes, I believe nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. I believe that everybody should keep their hands to themselves. When you have, and that's why I always like when I talk to my homegirls, a lot of them like to tell these stories where they flared up on a dude, and I said, look, I understand that was having a heated moment, but you cannot put your hands on a man. He's physically stronger than you. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that, though it's wrong for him to respond once you attack somebody, you've like you said, you've taken yourself out the role of being feminine and now taking on the rules of masculine, which is if you strike somebody, prepare to get struck back. You know what I'm saying? Me and my girl was having this conversation the other day too, and the idea I have with this whole thing is if anybody hits anybody, there's bad outcomes for both. For the man, you can go to jail. For the woman, you can have PTSD because some women that get hit, it leaves them with this fear of man or whatever. But that is
Hmm.
also a consequence of violating your feminine role because now you want.
Right. And it also, and then here's the part that we're not missing. It also means that you can't take accountability and hold your own because you're not
Thank you.
accepting and understanding the fact that I got hit because I hit him.
Right, exactly, and that would have never happened. Like I told you the story about I'm gonna leave the homegirl's name out when I had the two girls in my house and
Mhm.
they were about to fight. You see what I'm saying? Now I asked these two women to calm down. You're in my house. We have neighbors. Y'all being extra loud, but they were so caught up in their emotions. I tried to get between them, like, "Hey, hold on here," and then she tried to start striking me. Now, Devin, as much as we talked about things, I did not hit her. I did not like punch her in her face, nothing like that. But I did grab her up aggressively, and I did have to like call her out of there forcefully. Now, see, I did hem her up. I took her outside and I placed her on the wall. Like, are you crazy? This is my shit. And she apologized. She was scared. She started crying. She apologized, but I was like, I shouldn't have had to do this when I asked you kindly to please stop making my house hot. And guess what, bro? She understood that. And then she apologized. So she knew I wasn't coming trying to be a bully band to try to, harm her and abuse. No, she knew that I had to stop this to check this. Do you believe, I asked this question, do you believe that anytime they say under no circumstance should have hit a woman under any, do you believe it's no circumstance or do you believe there's those weird outlier situations
I'm going to
where you
tell
should?
you exactly how my mom told me. Defend yourself.
Absolutely.
You don't
Absolutely.
let nobody hit you. And that's coming from a woman. My mom told
Exactly.
me to defend yourself. You
Mhm.
walk away, and if you cannot walk away, you defend yourself. I know women, I've dated a female, we both know who I'm talking about, that I know can beat up a good amount of my homies.
Mhm. Yeah,
I'm
right, right,
not gonna let you beat me up.
right. Mhm. Right, right,
I'm
right.
not,
I know what you're talking about.
and me and her had a situation where she stopped that, like swung on me. And I had to hem her up just how you did, and she seen the
Mm-hmm.
look in my eyes. If you don't stop, I'm gonna piece you up.
Mm-hmm. And then she
I'm
got
not
to
your ex, and I'm not any of the other ones.
the. Mm-hmm.
So I'm a firm believer in that. I'm gonna give you 3 manly hits,
Mm-hmm.
3 good ones. You got 3 good ones, and that's while I'm walking out. So the first one you're gonna give me is gonna be directly in my face. The next two is gonna be when I'm turning around and walking away. And if you
Mm-hmm.
have the goal enough to hit me in my back, you have the goal enough to get beat the fuck up like a man.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, like I always tell people, no man wakes up, no real man wakes up in the attention to put his hands on a woman. Most men we are raised are like, that's what my mom told me, everybody keep their hands to themselves. You see what I'm saying? And then she told
Yep.
me, if you put your hands on a woman, she says, try to find a way to get out of it, because she said it's not going to end up good for you. You're going to end up in jail. She didn't necessarily say a woman didn't need to be hit. She said that is a consequence. Just think about it beforehand. But she says
Yep.
defend yourself though. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I realized, bros? And I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. There are some situations where, you know, because I'm about to give an example. Some females will say, I didn't leave a situation because I was scared, right? Which is true in some cases. But then there are some cases where women don't leave. And my assessment is because some of them realize, like my homegirl, she told a story. I have a good man. He takes care of all the bill. He does all this stuff. But when I act irate, I hit him and he hit me back. And she didn't leave, not because she wasn't scared, but she realized, you know what? He's good to me. I was wilding out. I was tripping, right? And I think there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of situations like that, to where it's like it's not that somebody's being abusive. It's just one of those things. I have to check you sometimes. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't believe there's anything wrong with checking somebody, but when it becomes abusive, when you just wake up in the morning, my eggs ain't made, bam. What
Right.
you did this to my TV, bam. Like, no, that's wrong. Even I would jump in on something like that. But at the end of the day, I believe, like you said, keeping our hands to ourselves, or if we really in an argument, like I explained this to my girl, if we really this heated, both of us need to get off the phone. I'll just come back to us later, or we need to just separate and think about things. That's what I learned from my parents. Well, they had arguments too, but they learned to separate and come back and tell their little jokes and come back together. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I believe. I believe all this physical violence and domestic violence could end if both people understood we both have something to lose. I can go to jail, you can get PTSD. So let's just separate and come back together when we are calm conscious, you know?
But see, and that's even more of the thing, bro. Because even women can go to jail, and we live in a country in a society that shelters and cuddles women, and that's why a
Very
lot of
true.
these women don't feel like there's any reprimations or anything or any consequences for them because they don't think that anything's going to happen to them. People don't
Right.
understand that when you, it's not about the police being called. It's about who called the police first.
First, right.
I've
Absolutely.
seen I've seen that with that punk ASS Negro Patrick.
Mm,
Destiny hit him. He hit her back out of self defense. Picked up the phone because she kept going and called the police. And the moment he called the police, and they heard her in the background thumping and bumping, they came for her. And
mm,
she, oh, he hit me. He hit me. He called on you. And
mm-hmm.
it's clear evidence that you hit him. Guess where she went and spent the night at?
In jail. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's about one half of it is about knowing the law
Yep. Absolutely.
and also being smart. I defend it, and even in a street fight, I can defend myself. I just gotta call the police first.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I call the police first, you become the attacker.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we need more cases like that, because because what you're saying is 100% right. Whoever calls the police first. But going back to this idea of the laws are absolutely need to be changed at this point. We need some
Oh
reformation,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, like I know we have our discussions on man woman thing, but I do believe that there should be laws that hold both accountable. You know what I'm saying? All the time, not just one scenario or two scenarios, outliers like we always talk about, but we need the majority to start being like this, because
yeah.
at the end of the day, I do believe, like we're like a lot of black men are taught not to put your hands on women, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the other way around, the mothers never tell the daughters not to do that, and so it gives
Oh
them
yeah.
like Devin. I'll give you an example. You remember Miss Smith from Jackson? I remember,
Yes, I
and
do.
Trishana, one of my little first girlfriends or whatever. Trishana had did this thing where she talked about my mom. She kicked me. She made fun of my epilepsy. She did a few little stuff, and I was only 8 or 9, so I hit her in the face because I didn't. I was lashing. I was upset. Miss Smith took both of us outside. She yelled at me for like a good minute, talking about men, boys don't hit. If you're gonna be a man, you never put your hands on a girl. And there's this stupid look that Trishana had in her face, like this. Oh, I didn't know that. You see what I'm saying? And that is my fear for America, is that we have this society that says, men, don't you do this, but women, it's optional. We might take you to jail, or we might just talk to the dude. That pissed me off since I was 8 years old. That gave me the stance that I have today about, no, keep your hands, because I didn't want to hit Trishana. I didn't wake up that morning and she had been messing with me all day. See, that shows you. As a boy, I was like, because the problem is in human nature, bro. When there's no restraint on somebody, they'll do anything unless you have integrity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the laws definitely need to be changed so we can create an organized society to where nobody hits anybody, or understand that,
Facts.
because in certain countries, Devin, like, I'm a curse a little bit. No, Pastor Skinner's in the thing. Shout out to Pastor Skinner. I see you in there. So I'm gonna say this: in certain countries, they have some called Sharia law, right? In like Muslim countries, in certain
Mm-hmm.
Arab countries, where if you hit your man or call him a BA type of N word, they will beat the life out of their wife, and there's no law coming to save them. There's no social law of, you're a punk if you put your hands on your wife. No, over there they understand women know a place. There is a place for a woman. That's not bad or good, but it's supposed to be a place of understanding. This man is bigger than me. Like
Right. And now when we say a place, it's not just a woman thing.
right,
Everybody from man to woman
has a
has a
place.
place
Absolutely,
and a role. There's
absolutely.
nothing wrong with saying that, because I know when the women hear this, they're going to be like, "A woman's place."
Yeah, my girl gonna probably she gonna call me being
and
bad.
and 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 guess what? You have a place and you need to stay in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why our parents used to tell us that. That means you didn't learn the lesson that your parents was telling you as a child. Stay in a child's place.
Place. Mm-hmm.
You got a role. You have a mindset that you need to stay in. You have an objective, and there are rules and guidelines for the realm of your
Mm-hmm.
place.
Absolutely. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm as a man, I'm not I'm not allowed not to work, to just sit up and
Absolutely.
be a bum. Guess
Right.
what? My place is called taking care,
Mm.
fixing.
Right.
A woman's place is to nurture and grow the family. My
Absolute. Thank you.
place as a man is to raise men.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So like we need to like get out of this whole idealistic of, oh, there's no place, there's no roles. That's why
Mm-hmm.
everybody feel like they can identify as a tree now. I'm not a
Thank
man,
you.
I'm a tree.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
But no, that's not your mother loving place.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 100%. I agree with every single word you said. Because that's what happens when we eliminate gender roles. We by proxy eliminate male and female nature, which is why we have, the other group of people. See, on social network, I can't nail them to the cross like how we do in
I
our
can. That's why we
you know
have
what I'm saying?
these weird people out here trying to
Mhm.
identify as trees instead of men,
Exactly.
or
So you
women
have
trying
heard
to
of that?
find.
Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, my bad. So you have heard of this new this thing you can identify as an object now. Like at first
Yep.
it was as a
Yep.
woman, then as a dog, and
Yep.
now you can see what Devin, that goes back to what the Bible even says. I don't want to preach to you guys, but I have to. This is what goes back to: if you break one commandment, you're guilty of breaking them all. What that also means is that what? Once you let one wrong thing goes, everything goes. So when we stopped saying it was wrong to sleep with the same sex, then it became okay to sleep with the no, it became okay to be a woman. Now I told you, speaking of pedophile, to get back to the subject, they have pedophile rights now. It's called
Yeah.
children attracted people. That's the craziness
Yeah.
that our politicians have put in there now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Devin, you have children. I have like what I call my stepkids, but you actually blood kids. I'm just gonna tell you, like I always say, start either homeschooling your kids or put them in a very, because bro, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just so sick of what I see.
No,
There are
trust me,
men in
I get
dresses
it,
beating the
but
children.
you trust me, and I'm saying this with full confidence. Your nephews are gonna try to hurt that person, and then immediately come tell me because I have trained my children to know their role.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say it again. I trained my kids to know their role. One of my old homies, I consider him an acquaintance now. I'm not gonna say his name, but he
Hmm.
came over to my house when I was living with Patrick, and my son Dominic walks in the room, and we're doing big people stuff.
Okay.
We're that, and that's what my son calls it. I
Big.
smoking weed. I'm gonna just because I don't think it's wrong. I'm not gonna hide it. We were smoking weed.
That's
I
fine.
just
Yeah.
don't do that in front of my son. That's
Absolutely.
not something that you need to see. So he walks in the room. I didn't even have to say anything. Dominic, what am I going to tell you to do? He stopped. He looked at me. He said, Dad, I wanted a hug. Okay, but what am I going to tell you to do? He turned around and he walked out. And he waited for me where he was supposed to so I can come give my son a hug.
Hmm.
That's called staying in a child's place.
Place. Absolutely.
Same thing with my girl. The one time we had a very big argument. I cleaned the whole house before work. I traveled from LA to Pasadena. Remember when I was working at the gym?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get off and I gotta take a 2 hour drive bus ride back home. I come to the house, the whole house a mess. She cooked for everybody but me. I cleaned that
Mm.
whole house. I had to stay up till 3 in the morning. Then I woke her up. I surely did, kick the bed and all. You
Yeah.
will
That's not wrong
never
with that.
cook for another man and not at least save me a plate, but I should
Right.
never come home after working to come home and work again
Right.
on an empty
Absolutely.
stomach.
Oh,
And
right.
all you're doing is sitting at home. So now if you don't have a job and you're just sitting in my house, your role now
It's to
becomes
clean.
to take care of my house.
Absolutely.
That it is what it is.
Hmm.
If I was the stay-at-home dad, she would never come home to a dirty house. There will be
Right.
a plate prepared for her.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So so it's very weird to me the society that we live in because I'm a for my son's future wife, don't put hands on him because he'll put hands on you back.
Right.
And I can say that confidently in front of the world. Yes, I've taught my son to walk away. Yes, I've taught my son how to pick a woman, but my teachings can only go as far as he allows them to because my son also has choice.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
But he will know that, and he'll say it. If you put hands on me and you don't allow me to leave this situation, I'm going to treat you like a man because you removed yourself from being a woman. And
Exactly.
ain't
And
nothing wrong with that.
at all, nothing wrong with that. Nothing. And I'm gonna tell you why. I already know you know, but just for the audience sake, because what you said, bro, when you said when you put into a man's place, and this is the problem that I have with some female, even my homegirls. So I'm taking it personal, even with my not taking it personal, but personally in my own life. Like my homegirls, when they tell these stories about I'm just like these N-words, I'm just like this, I'm just like that. That's why I say we have to stop pushing the idea of masculine women, because at the end of the
Yeah, I don't believe in
day,
that.
yeah, me either. I only believe you're masculine if you're a man, you're feminine if you're a woman, and when you cross up like that, then you deserve whatever the consequence of a
Yep.
man would be. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. I had a homegirl before she was my homegirl. I liked her. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
lie. We was
No, it's
around
cool.
each other every day. I think you know who I'm talking to because she was picking me up from your house, dropping me off.
Mm-hmm.
We was
Yeah, yeah, okay,
good.
yeah. Uh-huh.
We was good. But the moment I started noticing, you think like me, you act like me, you try to combat me like you one of my homies, and
Right.
you
That's
bleed once a month.
right. Right. Mm-hmm.
It became unattractive. Her beauty became obscure to me. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
see it any much more because what makes you beautiful is no longer there.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was trying to
My
explain to my girl. Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
and literally we was talking, but yes, we were like it was working the right way because you're my best friend. But the moment you start acting like one of the niggas, I'ma treat you like one of the niggas. Am I being loud? Did I wake you up?
No, no, no. You
Okay.
good. You good.
No. I was talking to June.
Oh,
But that's, yeah. You can't step out of a role and think that you can't act like me and think that you're still attractive. You can't act like me and think that it's still okay. The moment you start who banging with the homies, I'm a who bang with you back. What up,
mm-hmm.
Rail?
Uh-huh.
How you doing, Rail?
Mm-hmm.
You change your boxers today?
Right. Uh-huh.
So yeah, bro, like this, and that's real. I know it's funny, but that's real talk.
No, but it's real. Yeah, that's real
Because
talk.
because you got to look at studs. You want to know the problem that I have with women being studs? They try to act like more of a man than a man.
Right. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
means
I
you got
do.
to
I have a
prove
big problem.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to prove something to me, and not just to me. You're trying to prove something to yourself.
Right.
You don't even believe the lie you giving off.
Exactly.
That's why
And
you sagging, you acting all hard, you becoming a gangbanger. The most unattractive thing to me is a woman that gangbangs. Oh my
right.
God.
Yeah. It's disgust me.
And I'm not gonna put my business all the way out there, but I ran with a couple.
Yep.
A lot of my family is who riders.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, I had no choice but to jump off the porch because a lot of activeness my family is in. My god brother's family runs the hood.
JB. Yep.
I,
I just talked to her a
so
little while ago. Yep.
so
Mm-hmm.
the moment you start resembling what was taught to me as a child, what I seen as a child, coming from the man that raised me, it looks weird.
It does. And you know it's funny, and this is why I have not a lot of respect for that the letter community, because let me tell you something about studs, bro. It's crazy because it shows that they don't even know what a true man is. Because have you ever noticed when you look at a stud, they never emulate the man like a no, I'm not gonna say Obama type, but those suit wearing,
No,
you know,
no, yeah, like the Obama type. It's
yeah,
okay to
you
say it
never
because
see
I
studs
don't
like
like
that.
him, but yeah.
You never see studs like that. You always
No,
see
you
studs
don't.
emulate gangbangers. Have you ever noticed that?
Yep. Yeah,
Even
that
the
was the
white,
first thing I noticed.
yeah, exactly. They always emulate gang. All of them. They always emulate the worst type of man, which means that you don't even understand manhood in the first place. Not no disrespect to my homies that bang. I understand some people have to do what they got to do, but for a female, it's just different. And then it shows what they think of men, especially black men, is that
Yep.
all we are thugs and sag our pants. Why don't I see
Yep.
it in these in businesses? Because that whole community is degenerates. Not to name this at them, but that's what that portrays. It portrays a false image of black men. It makes our community look horrible. And at the
Yep.
same time, you're stepping outside your role as a female. I do believe in roles between men and women. And when you're trying to pretend to be something and then want me to go along with it and say, yeah, you are that. No, I'm not going to do that because
At all.
that's pushing the lie of society.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we hit the hell on the hammer.
Yeah, we did. This was a great one, and I know some of the people. Shout out to Denise. Pastor Skinner was in here. I didn't. I saw him about 15 minutes ago. I don't know if he's still here, but thank you for joining. But yeah, I think we did a good job addressing these topics. Yes, getting coming to about an hour. I'm gonna let you go in a minute, but I'm gonna tell you about future subject because I came across a video right of this dude. I don't know if you know Cooley from this podcast called what's called No Fugazi. Have you heard of No Fugazi podcast?
No, I haven't.
Okay, no, it's cool. It's cool. You know, it's just all right. Basically, he was having a discussion. It was a man to man, and the topic is the black woman God, right? So
Ooh.
my next topic is going because you said to let you know ahead of
Okay.
time. The
All
black woman be.
right. All right. You know, I just gotta see it. Hold on. I'm gonna let you see it. I'm gonna let you see it.
I see the smile.
Yeah.
So you know that is our next one. So and whenever you have to get prepared, are you busy tomorrow?
I work tomorrow at 8, so I could try to be up. I really just try to get a good amount of rest, so I'm not falling asleep watching them cameras. So, I'll probably go to sleep a little earlier tonight, so I can wake up and get with you.
Okay, for sure, because I definitely want your opinion on this, and I might be bringing Amy on if she has time. But I had to get your point on that because you know that and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a replay video or like a play-by-play, which means like I'm
Yeah.
gonna play the video of Cooley and this dude. There's two men debating over the black woman's God. It's pretty good because they use science and stuff like men, women produce kids, all that. Don't worry, I don't want to spoil it, but we're gonna watch that clip and we're gonna break it down point by
Send
point.
the clip to me when we get off.
Okay, as soon as it's like 23 minutes. You don't have to watch all of it, but yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. The black woman's God, and I was hesitating to bring this subject too because it's so stupid. But did you hear about the debate online between they asked a woman or women, who do you feel safer between a man and a bear? Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, I don't even want
And
to
I
bother.
guarantee
Let
they
me
said the
forgive
fucking
me for even
bears.
bringing that up. Forgive me for bringing it. It's stupid stuff that the social network comes up with. I'm just trying to start a channel or get a channel going so I talk about
Yeah.
everything, right? But it's stupid. Long story short, ladies, if you're listening, men, we got your back. A bear is gonna kill you every time. So since
Every
we had
single time.
exactly, so that was less than 30 seconds. That's been going on for like a month.
Right.
Yeah, that's been going on for like a month on social network. I've been waiting to
Are you
talk about that.
serious?
Bro, that is type it in, bear or man or something like that. Type it in for fun, and you're gonna see all these people talking about ladies. I feel safer around a bear because men could rape all this other stuff. I don't even want to bother you with that. I'm sorry I bothered you with that. But yeah, the main thing is I just felt like I had to talk about it because they're talking about it. But he's the greatest. Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't want to bother you with that one. That's why when I told you the topics, I thought about that like a week ago. I said I don't want to bother. Devin's too intelligent for that. Like, but everybody talking about it. But no, so we're coming up to the hour mark. Like I said, I try to always keep it at an hour or less now. Once again, bro, thank you, Devin, for joining me on the show. To my subscribers, thank you. If you guys want to, I thank you guys for hitting the Cash App. The few of you all that did. I'm not trying to make a millionaire off of this, but thank you guys for the people that donate. I was going to tell y'all that last time. And thank you, Devin, so much for joining me. Like I remember I put in your DM because I'm trying to get somebody to help host the show with me, but I know your scheduling conflicts. But like I said, I'm prepared to pay whatever this Cash App to, you know what I'm saying, bring you on. And if I wasn't talking about this month, but maybe next month so we can set up a schedule,
Oh yeah. Next month will be a lot better, but we'll talk about that, me and you. We'll talk about that,
it's
me
better.
and you.
Okay, it's better. But yeah, the next topic, so you can prepare. I'm gonna send a clip to you. It's a No Fugazi podcast. Cooley is the name of the host. The opponent or the debater is King Knowledge. I'm gonna send a clip to you, and just tell me what you think. You can text me later on when I'm at work. But thank you, Devin, so much. I appreciate you for coming on. Man, you're a blessing in my life, bro. I tell you, I love you.
Likewise,
you have a great
love
day.
you too, brother.
All right,
you as well.
All right. Now, everybody, JB Speakeasy, thank you guys for joining me on the show. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless you all. This is JB Speakeasy, the black platform where black people speak freely. I'm your host, JB9 Deuce. God bless and have a good day.